Welcome. Shevach Pepper here from www.greatfamilycoaching.com with a really powerful tip on how you can have your mother-in-law or your children stop a behavior which annoys you very much. Now let me ask you a question. How do you think that you would feel if you and your wife or you and your husband were kidnapped and put into a room with only two beds, a chair, a mirror, and a television set? Probably very scared, and you'd be constantly thinking how to escape. Now, how do you think you would feel if you paid $150 for this exact room in a fancy hotel on your honeymoon? A much different feeling, no? The reason that you felt different in these two situations, even though that you were in the exact same setting, is because you put your staying in the hotel into two different frames. In the former case, you put it in the frame of being held hostage, which causes fear. In the latter case, you put it in a frame of having a honeymoon, which causes lots of positive feelings. One way to get yourself, your children, and even your mother-in-law to do things that are difficult for them to do is to reframe that difficult task into something that they really want to do. For instance, I heard a good example of reframing to get your children to get into bed on time on Chris Thompson's audio course, Talking to Toddlers. Let's say that your child doesn't want to get into bed because he looks at it, puts a frame around it, as having to stop having fun. Therefore, what you should do is to have a race who can get into the bedroom first. Or, another way is to take out a stopwatch and time how fast he can get into his pajamas. After you reframe the activity of going to bed from having to stop having fun into a game, he is much more likely to comply. Now, how can you use reframing to cope with an interfering mother-in-law? Okay, let's say that you realize that the reason that your mother-in-law doesn't leave you and your husband alone is because she's a widow and she is scared that if she will stay out of sight, then the son will forget about her when she is old, which happens to be a very common fear of widowed mother-in-laws. Now, in such a case, you have to find stories or movies, or just mention from time to time how distance makes the heart grow fonder. And there is a greater chance that he will take care of her if she stays away, more so than if she is always around. Now, obviously, you have to do it in a very nice and gentle way, and it won't always work the first time. As a matter of fact, it usually won't work the first time. However, you will see with time, they will buy into this new way of looking at things, the reframe, and they might begin to be a little less interfering. I hope that this video is helpful for you. Put it into use, and you'll see the difference. Shevach Pepper from www.greatfamilycoaching.com.